Wait, is it ready?
Has the podcast started already? Are we live?
It's muted.
Welcome back. It's October 29th, about 7:18, special edition of Combat Maquina. The nobody's hot out, fresh off the mats right now. Just wanted to catch up all the folks and let them know kind of what went down this weekend. I know you guys got some awesome highlights and the show in general. I mean, how'd you guys like it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I mean, I spent most of the time in the back with you guys. I think I walked out there like once or twice, checked out the booths, checked out the stuff that they had. But it seemed like everybody was having a good time. Our people said that they took care of them. They seemed happy.
Absolutely, yeah.
They were having fun.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And you were out there a little bit after your fight, huh?
Yeah.
So everybody was having a good time. All in all, at the end of the day, you know, we had missions and goals in mind going into it, and I believe we met all of them.
Yeah.
You know, with a little bit of adversity, but we'll get into that a little bit later. If you didn't know about the outcome, Taylor fought against Alexis Mariscal from Fallon MMA. And if you want to watch the video, watch the video. I know fighting, it gets so emotional for people, but the reality is that, look, man, they're kids. They're going out there and they're practicing their craft. Mariscal and Fallon, you guys were awesome. You know, she came out like and fought hard.
Yeah.
And they were respectful the whole time, which is for us. That's all we ask for the people that do business with us. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to touch bases on. This is a business, people. This is a business. I know kids are involved, but people are making money and they're moving things around to their liking so that things are more favorable for them. Not just gyms or promotions, sometimes sanctioning bodies. So we'll get into that a little bit. So I believe it was a unanimous decision win. I believe you had 2 knockdowns in the fight, correct?
1, I believe.
One knockdown. And no, they did no standing 8 counts in full contact youth. So what from your point of view, how did you feel going into the fight, and how do you feel it went?
I felt good. I felt really calm. Just staying in the back. It was nicer instead of just going out and hearing all the rowdy people. So I was pretty calm going in. I knew what I had to do. And the first round I looked sloppy. The first round I was just trying to feel her out a little bit, but I still look sloppy. I got hit.
I think we figured there's 2 ways that we're kind of used to people fighting us. We're either used to them coming right at us because they want to try to fight fire with fire, you know, because we're aggressive and we walk people down. And then the other way is they kind of sit back and throw kicks and try to establish their distance. What were you anticipating her coming out?
I was anticipating her coming out aggressive.
Yeah, and when
Like
she did
my
it, did that
opponents.
throw you off a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I stepped off too early and she hit me.
Yeah, no, and again, the way we were drilling in the back was for more aggressiveness. But again, I should have front loaded a little bit more and reminded you that if she doesn't come forward, you know, to start attacking with kicks and you start dictating the fight. Because again, for us, we're tempo and rhythm fighters. We like to move our feet and we like to kind of start, you know, we like to break the ice. So when somebody doesn't come out aggressive with us, we're kind of not used to it, and we got to do a better job of that. You know, and myself too in the back is getting you really kind of front loading you on, you know, the 2 most likely possibilities when the fight opens up, you know, without being too specific, because, you know, it's a fight. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but be prepared. You knocked her down in the second round.
Yes.
With a straight right hand. What did you feel as the fight went on, as far as, you know, her aggressiveness, her assertiveness, and the way she countered?
In the second round, she came in jumping. She came a little bit more aggressive, so I knew that I had to up the tempo a little bit. Start hitting her a bit harder. And then I knocked her down. And then after that, I felt I didn't get tired. I was breathing enough to I wasn't getting tired.
Oh no,
So I could tell.
our fight culture, you guys did a awesome freaking job with the video of the fights, streaming them. I know there was some issues with the audio, but as far as the camera footage, you guys did awesome. So kudos to you guys. Bravo, bravo. But we got some good film on it, and there was a lot of room where you were basically, in my opinion, as your coach and as a combat purist, I believe you kind of left a little some stuff out there. You didn't hit your angles cleanly. I wanted 3 and 4 punch combos, and you never really got those going. But
that all comes with experience.
But you're 14. Yeah. And bottom line is you went out there and for your first hometown fight, you know, sometimes it's pressure for people to fight in their hometown at 14 years old. I think you were really calm, composed, and you did an excellent job.
About any of that stuff, about being in your hometown and all you people watching you?
A little bit in the ring. No, I mean,
but prior to it,
a little bit, yeah. I mean, like, I knew it, like, so you know how like you put the stool in the corner. Like, I wasn't going to sit down because I didn't want to show that I was tired or that I was weak. Because I was like, I'm in my hometown. I'm not going to do that.
So you're going to fight. Yeah, you're going to fight. Well, and honestly, this weekend was more of us trying to establish roots in our community. You guys started, Aaron and you started in competitions over in Reno for King of the Cage. Shout out to B-Mac over at King of the Cage. Because I knew that the talent pool was higher. You know, so we never really got a chance to establish our brand in this area by fighting in this area. So it was a good little change of pace and opportunity for us to fight in front of our hometown crowd. Now, again, we didn't get a lot of notice on advertising or promoting the fights, which would have been nice. But hey, an opportunity is an opportunity. We took it. You looked good. You look good. And I'll say good, not great. We have a lot of work to do. The awesome thing about it is, and I'll remind Alexis Mariscal and Coach Fallon, yes, we very much are going to be available in the USFL as soon as you want. We have no concerns over running anything back at any time. As a matter of fact, Johnny's fight with main event with Alves was the 3rd time he faced him. You have faced an opponent to Lisette Dekpa. What's up, girl? Hope you're doing well. Twice as well. We have no problem giving people run backs. It doesn't have to be in Muay Thai. It can be in kickboxing. It can be in boxing. It can be in pancration. So I look forward to further to more competitions with Team Fallon and young Alexis Mariscal. Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you guys for the fight in our hometown. Again, we appreciate when people come with reciprocal energy and reciprocal respect, and
it all goes for a good turnout.
Yeah, and again, you know, for us, it's about building our brand of entertainment. Because at the end of the day, this is a business and it's about entertaining, even when they're kids. I think if you hammer it home that, hey, look, our fight style is built to entertain people regardless of your age. So you did a really good job of that, and you represented very well. So, you know, kudos to you. You got your flowers on that night. And again, now we're getting ready. We got 2 weeks. We're going to be over at Hendo Fight Night 5. You signed to clash with an experienced grappler in Zoe Irving. How do you feel about that fight coming up?
Excited,
to get back into that cage and polish up some of the things that you misfired on in San Bernardino against Jaden Murillo, huh?
Yes.
All right. And again, USFL, thank you guys for the opportunity. Temecula's a long way away, but I tell you what, for us, it's all about developing our style and our brand, and our kiddos going out there and showing who they are, man. Because again, we're not faking this shit. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is who we are. So we demand the same from our opponents. We do have a standard, and we hold ourselves to it. And honestly, for any future opponent or past opponent, I hope we did a good job holding you to that standard, because we approach this thing like it's our life. So thanks again, Team Fallon, and we hope to see you guys soon in competition. All right. Johnny was the main event, and he was dropped the mic. You guys seen the highlights. It was what we wanted to do anyways. So it couldn't have went better as far as execution and results on his part. I believe he took his boy out in about 75 seconds of a 2-minute round.
It was about that.
It was about that. And again, if you got any highlights you want to play, Misa, on the video, you guys can check those out. Now I got kind of some boxes I want to check off to kind of inform people kind of what was going on at the end of the Johnny's fight. Yeah, well, just backstory, just backstory. I know it kind of came off like it was dramatic at the point, but that was honestly like our opponent said, is is acting a little bit like an idiot, but the reality is when I feel like we're being taken advantage of, or disrespected, or slighted, even in the smallest of ways, I'm going to respond. And the reason that I'm going to respond is because, again, this is the fight business. It's business mixed with combat, right? Mixed with politics. So the way we are is we're kind of very transparent and straightforward.
Yeah.
So all that politics shit, better put that shit to rest with us, because the bottom line is you're going to get in order. We're going in there to take your fucking head off. Point blank. All right. Little backstory to the event. Initially, we had gotten a match with Team Foria MMA and Luis Alves to fight for a promotional title at 165 pounds. I believe there was 3 or 4 weeks notice in between the fight agreement and the fight. Definitely plenty of time to respectfully and responsibly cut weight and make it a memorable night. We were really looking forward to not only headlining the show with John, but getting some accolades and adding a belt to the collection that you guys see.
Fight. And it being a championship fight, like you said, you would assume that you take the weight seriously.
Absolutely. And then on our part,
Right.
we did a lot of work on promoting the fight for a week.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Good
thank
job,
you, Chica. You did a fucking awesome job with that. So and honestly, the Voodoo Promotions,
Yes,
they should be thanking us too, because they wouldn't have made the money they made unless we would have made the push that we did. Again, we did a lot of work on our side to prepare ourselves for this fight, it being our first hometown fight with an opponent that we were already familiar with and already kind of established a rapport.
Yeah.
So going into it, it was supposed to be a promotional title, 5 rounds. All right. And there was still some stuff up in the air about the gear, but we were okay with it because
May I ask what the difference between a promotional title and a normal title?
a promotional title is basically based on the promotion having the event. It's not a state title or an international title or a world title.
Okay.
It's a promotional title for the promotion to basically to advertise and bring attention to a certain fight or a fighter.
Okay.
So it was like giving our kid his flowers on that night
Yeah.
if he went out there and did his job. right? So that was the initial agreement. We sold about 26 to 30 VIP tickets, which we had the majority of the VIP because we made the push. Our people believe in our brand, and they were willing to shell out $100 to go out and watch us, you know, do our work and be rewarded for it if it was done properly. Put on a show, right? That was what was advertised, and that was what was sold.
Yeah.
Okay. So leading up to this, all these things that I say, this is how we approach this fight. We got to weigh-ins. The fight agreement was at 165. John showed up at 163.8 or 0.5. Which is under the 65 limit, which was okay. We waited around for his opponent to show up. They showed up late. And when they showed up, we did our face-offs, and then we took off, you know, because again, we've fought this team 2 times prior.
It was the end of the night, and we had already been waiting there for a while.
And you know what? You know, we figured there was already this reciprocal respect with Team Foria. So why would we think that they would badly miss weight? So I didn't think about it. We left. As soon as we left, I got a call from the promoter, Gene Fields, that we had on our show last week, stating that our opponent was 6 pounds over the allotted weight limit, which was 171 pounds for a 165-pound fight. In our mind, like, we don't care. We don't care. We signed for the 165 fight, and we didn't really even sign a contract. We agreed to a 165 fight, and we totally intended to be there at that weight and fulfill it. When they came in overweight, apparently there was one of the heads of the sanctioning body, which I believe her name was Tony Fossum, was one of the ladies that was part of the sanctioning body. She disputed that we could not have the fight. So Gene called me and basically tried to tell me that there was
what the thought process behind that was, because when somebody misses weight, only that one person isn't eligible to win the title. The title should still be held on the line.
Well, and then again, that's back shit. Like, I don't care, right? At the end of the day, all right, they went to stop the fight. So I got the call from Gene about 9:30 that night, saying that the fight wasn't going to happen. And I told him, and again, at that point in time, my main concern were my people and my fighter. So my people first, because they paid under the pretense that John would be the main event for a title, all right? And then when they tried to take that from me, well, I got aggressive and I got upset, and I made it a point to ask for a refund then. And then once I asked for a refund, it was funny because then, Gene went and talked to the sanctioning body, and then they came back with an exhibition match. An exhibition match for us, we've done an exhibition match before in Reno for King of the Cage, so I'm a little familiar with it. So I agreed to it for the simple fact that at least he'd be able to show in front of his people.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought, okay, boom. I believe that their response of an exhibition was so that they wouldn't have to refund the money, which is fine. Whatever, man. We reached an agreement. We're still having a fight, right? I called their opponents. Everything was good. All right. We're going to fight for exhibition fight. We're still going to put on a show. All right. We showed up the next day. We went about our business like we do every fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Hang out in the back, wait for your turn.
Never got extra rules for an exhibition from the referees.
No.
Never.
What happened in Reno.
Which is what happened in our previous experiences. And
fighters with the coaches.
and they were very specific about the rules and the semi-contact and all that. And in this event, IKF, they didn't do any of this stuff. So we go in basically thinking that it's a 3-round fight, and feeling a little slighted because now there's no longer a title, and it's not a 5-round fight, it's a 3-round fight. So I honestly, I was a little embarrassed initially because we had promised stuff and we had to kind of we had to kind of meet in the middle and just come up with something. So I wanted to make sure that my people had a good show. So that's all I really wanted. Obviously, our fighter Johnny felt a little slighted by that too, by the weight miss. And again, to me, when you agree to fight somebody, one of the most disrespectful things you can do is come in grossly overweight. Now, what is grossly overweight? Anything over a pound or two is grossly overweight. It means that you lack discipline and you made mistakes in your preparation to where you held nobody in regard other than how hard it was to cut your weight. So again, to me, that's one of the biggest disrespects when you call yourself a fighter. With the backstory of us already having fought this opponent twice, both times, one time for a state a state Muay Thai point Muay Thai title, and the second time for a promotional title at the Sports Evo in Santa Clara. It was completely unexpected. So when they came across, they were apologetic, and I can accept your apology, but that doesn't mean that we don't feel disrespected. So going into the fight, it wasn't IKF did not specify the exhibition rules to us, so we went into it like a normal fight. And for anybody that doesn't know our brand of fighting, we are fighters that fight to finish people. We don't care how old you are. We don't care where you're from. We don't care what style you come in with. Our job is to entertain and try to finish you.
Yeah, ultimately the goal is finish.
The finish, man, that's fighting. That is, and again, I've never said that I was a mixed martial artist. I've said I'm a combat purist, which means that the martial art aspect to it, although I respect it and I respect the tradition and I respect the philosophies, I am not that. I am a combat specialist that created my own brand of combat and my own curriculum. So in my curriculum, I teach my fighters to go for the kill all the time, all the time. So if you want us to go light, you should probably stick to the rules that you have under your sanctioning body. And this is all I'm going to say about the rules to IKF rules and regulations on an exhibition bout. And it states right here, it says mandatory. Ring announcer must read to the audience the following 5 statements before any and every exhibition bout on an IKF sanctioned event. And it goes on to tell you that the first one is that it's a semi-contact exhibition bout, which I believe the announcer did say it was an exhibition, but I don't believe he said it was semi-contact. And then the second one was that there will be no knockouts. And obviously, I'm repeating that he only said it was an exhibition. So he didn't state that there was no knockouts or no strong blows to the head. The third one was whether amateur or pro, both fighters are required to wear headgear. They were wearing headgear, but again, the rules state that he has to announce this, and it was not announced. The fourth is the referee may stop the bout at any time if he or she feels the contact is more than semi-contact. Again, he didn't say that, and not only that, after John knocked him down for the first time, he let him recover, he stood him up, and then he let him engage again. And the last one being there is no winner or loser in an exhibition bout, so there will be no winner announced. And if you watch the fight on live stream, that was the commotion at the end of the fight. That was the commotion. Is John had knocked him down in the first 45 seconds. The referee allowed him to stand up and continue the fight. The sanctioning ladies, I'll call them lady fossums, all right? They came over to me in the corner and they had stated that A, control my fighter, and B, there was no knockdowns. Now, I'm not saying that I was the nicest guy in this exchange, but we're in the heat of battle. And you're walking over to me in the heat of battle to try to enforce rules that you should have enforced prior to the fight. So at that point in time, my only response was when she said there's no knockdowns, which was said after the knockdown, I pointed out that that looked like a knockdown. So I don't know what you're talking about. And the controlling my fighter was extremely controlled. If you play the replay, the playback of the fight, dude, he was cool, calm, and collected the whole time. You know, so she kept on about suspending us, and then all I said was, I don't give a shit, because right now is not the time to address this. Before the fight was the time to address it. And here, I mean, this got the IKF seals on it and everything. They wrote this. I didn't write this, you know. So that was the commotion at the end of the fight. I got worked up for the simple fact that I believed that we were being slighted every step of the way. So when people say, "Oh, we went into their hometown," look, homies, we were getting screwed in our own hometown. They tried to screw us out of the fight. I had to fight for that fight to even happen. I had to put up a fuss for John's fight to even happen. And then they turned around and they tried to tell us not to knock people out. I'm sorry, you can't do that to us. And if you're going to do it to us, you better do it in a professional, in a very clear and a very structured manner. Your rules are structured, so your execution needs to be structured. So with that said, that's what happened. I don't have a problem with what happened. I supported my fighter only because I was supporting his skill and his ability to knock someone out. I supported that. I supported him knocking out his opponent, which is what we went there to do, which is what our people paid $100 a ticket in Turlock to go see. So with that said, I hope all my people out there, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the show. I know I got a little loud and crazy at the end, but it was only because I emphatically wanted to state that we were robbed of an opportunity to attain an achievement like a promotional title in our own hometown. And we were robbed of that not only by the sanctioning body that didn't do their job correctly, but by our opponent that didn't make weight, and then we were penalized for it. So with that said, let me make it really clear again about our brand and how I feel about that. We are consummate professionals until you are not professional with us. If you are not professional with us, I am not the kind of guy to turn a blind eye or to just walk away from the situation. I'm a man that's going to hold you accountable. I hold myself accountable for the way I acted, and I'm not condoning the way I acted, but I'm not apologizing either, okay? Because the way I look at it is, if you want to come to me at the last minute and make your problem my emergency, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you away just like I did, Ladies Fossum. All right? It doesn't matter to me who you are. You cannot approach me like that and expect me to respond in the way you want me to respond because you wanted to dictate that situation. If you wanted to dictate it, you should have done a better job of establishing the rules and the regulations to what you wanted my fighter to abide by. You did not. The referee did not. The opponent came in heavy. So the way I look at it is all's fair in love and war. We love you till we got to go to war with you, man. And in war, believe me, I'm approaching this thing like the art of war. I'm not going to threaten you if I know you're going to get in the cage or the ring with us. I'm not. We're going to let our fighting do the talking. And that's what happened on this night. You let your hands do the talking, and we were respected. It was a reciprocal exchange between your opponent, the coaches, and us. Thank you guys for that.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And again, we're absolutely do it again wherever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And then on the other end, we weren't by John's opponent and by the sanctioning body. So with that said, if you guys saw a disrespectful, a shit talking, an aggressive, or an asshole side of me, I'm sorry, but that's what you're gonna get when you fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with my brand. Don't fuck with my students. All right. And don't fuck with my people. If my people made you money, shut the fuck up, take the money, and let the shit happen. Because as I look at it, nobody lost out on this. We were gonna lose out on it. So the only thing that we could control is our response and our execution when the bell rang. And that's what we did. So after the fight, I got loud with my people because I wanted the music was loud and it was loud in there. So I wanted to just let my people know that don't worry that they're not going to announce Johnny as the winner. I hope you guys enjoyed the knockout, and I'm sorry that we weren't given the belt. It was taken from us from out of things we could not control. But with that said, that really clarifies what went on at the Battle of the Best, and I believe a lot of what went wrong was done by the sanctioning body and the promotion. Again, we went out there and you were lights out. Things to improve,
Technically.
but that's a technical thing. That's what you're doing. That's your job. So and Johnny was lights out. So I by no means, I have no hatred towards the sanctioning body or our opponents. For our opponents, that was the third time we fought with you guys, and that was obviously the last time. Again, I went to the back not to apologize to you guys, to basically just reiterate and validate the fact that my fighter was angry and I was just supporting my fighter. And I believe that what they did was disrespectful too. And hey, look, it's all water under the bridge. It's the heat of competition. All right. If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. And here's the thing, guys. I'm not looking to fight with nobody. But if you come looking for a fight with me, I guarantee motherfucking to you, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it. So I don't apologize for none of that. The one or the two apologies I do have to dish out go to the parents, John Pereira. And Maritza, you're out there watching, and John, you're out there watching. I apologize how it came off and it made you guys feel. But other than that, I don't really give a fuck how anybody else felt about that shit, because we went there and we put it down. And that's the brand, man. The brand, we're the oppositional brand. We're aggressively different. We're in your face. We're constantly coming forward. It's what we are. It's what we do. I can't take that back, and I wouldn't. That would be changing who we are, and I'm not going to do that. And when it comes down to our people, if you support us, we are the epitome of loyalty. So if you support us, I don't care if you're just going to spectate. If you feel like you've been wronged and you let me know, I'm going to go to bat for you. I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to support you. So everybody that came out, man, love you guys. I was glad you guys had a good show. The promotion, awesome job on the fucking VIP. Yeah, on the drink and the food. So again, I'm not sitting here shitting on people. I'm just speaking facts from our point of view and our perspective. You know, so it was everything that we wanted it to be, with a little extra bullshit on the side. And the extra bullshit, honestly, it was out of our control. We controlled what we could do. So with that said, that was pretty freaking awesome. And you know, don't hate, man. Congratulate. Straight up. Don't hate, congratulate. You have to, that's one of the biggest things about our brand, is because we're not like other gyms. We don't consider ourselves like a gym because we're a private training facility. It's really hard for people to give us our props. You know, it's almost like they're insulted by the fact that we come in and we do our own thing, and we go about our business our own way. And we're not there to be all chummy with everybody. We're there to fucking get better, because again, some of those gyms don't have to worry about the things that we have to worry about. I'm building a brand off my own curriculum. I don't have a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu emblem here for me to you know, as propaganda or as advertising. I don't have a UFC guy here, talking a big game about how great this place is. All we got is each other. All we got is each other, huh, girl? That's all we got is each other. And that's really all the fuck we need. And that's what I'm trying to tell people is I'm not super approachable, but that doesn't mean that I'm an asshole. I'm an asshole if you're an asshole. I'm a dick if you're a dick. All right. I'm an idiot if you're an idiot. And the reason why is because that's a lost art. We live in a fucking society that all they want to do is fucking make excuses for everything. I'm not making any excuses for nothing. I'm telling you what it is and what we are. And that's the beauty of fighting, is that when you fight, you get to express who you are. And there's no hiding that shit. So if you're a dog, the dog is going to come out on fight night. If you're a bitch, the bitch is going to come out on fight night. Right? If you're all talk, that shit's going to come out on fight night. You know? So that's what I love about the fight game. You guys should love that about the fight game too. But, you know, we do. We lose and we get emotional and we start saying shit like, you know, they're kids. Let me tell you something about a 16-year-old in combat sports. That's a young man. It's not a kid. That's a young man. In 18 to 24 months, both of those young men are going to be men, legally men. So don't start fucking making excuses about them because they're not technically adults. I don't treat my 14-year-old daughter like she's a little kid, a child. I'm treating her like a young woman, right? I'm showing her what's real about the fight business, what's real about people's interactions with her, what's real about the education system. I'm teaching her what's real about life. I'm not blowing smoke up her ass and, you know, telling her that she can make excuses for coming up short. She can't. She can't. As a matter of fact, we went back and we watched your fight and there was a bunch of things I had to say, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't in any demoralizing kind of, yeah, you should have done this, you should have done that.
It was more of just you're telling me what I need to work on, and that's it.
That's it. You know, and I told you, you know, enjoy your victory and then Monday it's back to work.
Ready
And,
for your pancreation fight?
And USFL, here we come. And, you know, I hope you guys appreciate us because we're going out of our way to make sure that we give you guys a show, whether it's a Hendo's, whether it's King of the Cage, wherever we go. That's our brand, man. I don't approach combat sports the way other people approach combat sports. And the reality is because I don't think of combat the same way. And again, remember, I made our curriculum up. My fight style is a fight style that you guys haven't seen yet. But I'll tell you what, you guys want to know what we're doing over here? Look at Johnny's highlight of his knockout. He lined up in a right-handed stance, and right when his opponent threw, he switched into a left, and he hit him with a hook, and then he came with that left overhand for the knockout. That was a technical little slice of what I teach here. That one technique, and Nisa, your fucking team did an awesome job with that freaking highlight. Again, that was awesome because that one clip, in that clip, that is a microcosm of what I teach here. It's just a little itsy bitsy little taste of what I do here. And what I do is what I teach is combat in motion, is using momentum, using physics, and using the other person's aggression against them. It's not a style that's been seen ever before. We've seen the switch stances. We've seen the footwork, the fancy bouncing around footwork. We've seen all that shit. But let me tell you something. If you really knew what we did behind closed doors and what it should look like, dude, it would blow your mind. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to establish our brand with a whole fucking culture that wants to ignore us and pretend like we ain't legit because we don't have black belts and we don't have a background there's no state wrestlers here or there's no ex-UFC guys here or anything like that. So you guys have to contend against that dog in us. And I explained it to you is, you know, it's not just about winning here. It's about showing you our brand of fighting. And that's exciting shit for us. And it's exciting shit for the people that come out to support us because they know they're going to get something that they normally don't see. And I think, Misa, you can kind of see it in your in your podcast in streaming that you showed all the fights. And if you go and you look at all the fights, and then you look at Tay's fight and you look at John's fight, they move differently, they respond differently, they hit harder, they do things, and it almost looks like it's on a different level. And I'm not here to pat myself on the back. We got a lot of work to do. And every time that we are called to do a show, we approach that with that much seriousness and professionalism, is that we want to do what we were trained to do. And it's something that people out there, I'm going to be honest, you ain't seen this shit yet. You guys don't know. You guys have just seen bits and pieces with Aaron and Esteban and Johnny and Tay. And again, these are my first 4 fighters. It kind of seems like the curriculum and the style is kind of can't miss when it's executed. When it's executed. Which brings me to another point. With Saturday's victories, that brings us to another kind of milestone. We stayed undefeated when you guys execute our game plan and our style. I'm not talking about you individually or you individually. I'm talking about we as us, as our brand, as a stable of fighters. We are undefeated when they do what they train to do. When you guys go out there and, you hesitate a little bit, shit happens. We've never lost a fight and bitched and moaned about it. We've never lost a fight and cried about it. We've walked away with a little bit of disgust a couple of times. One time in Temecula when Johnny fought for nationals and some kid held onto his leg for a whole round and got the victory. That was a little, that was a bad loss, that we didn't like that. And we just left. We didn't, I caused a little fuss, but not much. I think one time in Reno where we were insulted by one of your opponent's fan base, and we came back and starched him 28 seconds into the rematch. And then this occasion on Saturday where we were sliding a little bit. But the reality is that we take our L's right off the chin, and I'm more than okay with losing. Sometimes it's how you lose. It's not who we lose to. It doesn't matter to me, so
that's the thing, man. Everybody's human, and part of life is losing.
And that's the fight game, man. As I've said it before, the fight game is failure and losses are right around the corner constantly. If you're not training with that understanding, then you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, but with that in mind,
and that's what we do. And that's what we do. And again, that's how our brand differs from other fight teams, is that we emphasize entertainment. We emphasize volume. We emphasize activity. We emphasize violence. We emphasize brutality. We emphasize everything that people love to watch. And we do it because that's what people love to watch. And I feel like if I'm going to create a fight style, I want to make sure that everybody benefits off of it. Everybody. I believe in business, it should be a fair exchange. Now, obviously, the more resources and effort and time that you're putting into it, you should get probably a bigger purse. But at the end of the day, everybody should benefit. As amateurs, the one benefit that you have is titles, is promo titles, state titles, tournament titles.
Yeah, so like all that gives you notoriety.
Yes, and it builds your brand and it builds the gyms up. So it's almost like every time that we do these shows, it's almost like people are trying to take the shit away from us.
Yeah.
Like they don't want us to get these belts and they don't want us to get these accolades. I believe the only promotion that we have fought for that has really gone to bat for us is King of the Cage. It's where you guys started. Shout out to B-Mac. What's up, man? Wish I could have had you on the podcast tonight to explain the exhibition rules and the professionalism the King of the Cage approaches exhibition fights with. But maybe on another podcast, brother. But yeah, man. Every other show besides King of the Cage, it's always been one thing or another of people sliding, making excuses, trying to basically knock us down a peg. Because why?
It always comes down to the people that are in charge trying to enforce some kind of power
Or authority,
Or
yeah.
authority, like they're better than you or something. It's
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
and that's basically what we're here to do. We wanted to give you guys our version of what happened on Saturday night. I didn't want to come out here and shit on nobody. I just wanted to speak complete facts, all right, and let people know that our brand. Again, I'm going to remind people we're aggressively different. We're an oppositional brand. We're not here to be told what to do. We're here to come and advance and further ourselves, the promotions we're fighting for, and the sanctioning bodies that are allowing us to fight.
We're all working together.
We're
Yeah.
all interdependent, and like I said, I enjoyed what happened this last week for the simple fact that for me it was a little bit of kind of street justice. Like that's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you guys get
Karma.
at IKF for not being on your game about the rules and the mandates. And honestly, our opponent, somebody's got to hold these people accountable. So all I was doing was just making it very clear that you can't hold us accountable if you're not held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, we thank everybody for tuning in and catching the real talk behind what happened. We have no hatred towards anybody, but if
No.
you get in that cage or you compete with us, we're looking for your fucking head.
Yeah.
So, if you're offended by that, then don't sign on the dotted line.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
I had so much fun. I want to thank you guys personally and Johnny as well, who's not here.
Hey, and you know what? I had a blast too.
Blast.
I got fired up at the end, but it was only, I was having fun. I was only fired up trying to fire up our people. And hey, we enjoyed the fucking shot of Don Julio 70 at the end. And it really didn't matter that they didn't want to call it a win. I'll tell you what, anybody that watches that shit, deny it. And all you'll be doing is resting on some technicality that somebody that couldn't stick to the actual rules that they wrote put out there. So with that said, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay strong.